of health and peace of mind. The attack of Hamas, a terror organization, on Israel has stunned the world. There has been a conflict, war like situation is going on between Palestinian and Israel for over 7 decades. And the roots of this conflict between the Arabs and Christians and Jews go back to the before Christ, 100 years before the Christ. And but there is so much information. We are living in a world of information and disinformation, misinformation, interpretations, truth, twisted truths, and this issue is so much complicated that you can Google it, you can go YouTube, you can see experts. And as I have mentioned in a number of my videos that I'm not an expert of anything per se, not the list of the international affairs and all these things. But this is a very unique case study for me as a mind analyst. Now you would surprise where the mind comes into this picture. Well, there are two ways, I think about that. The New Age philosophy, which I belong to, which I am a follower of, and I'm also a follower of Swami Vidyananda, who is the founder of New Age philosophy, the pioneering work. And New Age philosophy had covered almost all aspects of life, whether it's mind peace, whether it's business, whether disease, health, businesses, a lot of things. In fact, New Age philosophy is the philosophy of the 21st century. That is what Swamiji had preached us, and which is now it's proving day-to-day life. So what happened is that in 1970, Swamiji had written a book, a small book. The title of the book was Shiva Sena to Samyavad, from Shiva Sena to Socialism. That may sound very crazy, weird, or sometimes I don't know. It sounds a little bit odd for a lot of people who don't know the New Age philosophy. Now, in that book, Swamiji had mentioned some references about this Arab-Israel war, Palestinian, and how this land, the India, has been a part of aggression of communists, Muslims, Christians, and how there is an ongoing battle between the different faiths and cultures. And in doing so, in one of the paragraphs, Swamiji had mentioned that when it comes to Jews and Palestine or Israel-Palestine issue, the Indians should support Arabs, in this case, Palestinians. And he had given his case, put up his case in a manner that he had said that the justice stands by Palestinians in a larger sense. Uh, and he also said that when it comes to global issues, and there will be so much tensions among the cultures and ethnicities, the Hindus and Indians mostly will have to stand by Europe or support Arabs. Now, Swamiji had not given detailed explanation about that, but and in most of the cases, as I'm his follower, but I'm not his blind follower, because Swamiji had taught us to do experiments of our own, and he also taught us uh, to stick to our statements and findings and experiments. And in this same book, one of the Muslim had asked Swamiji that Hindus most of the time complain that Muslims have tortured them, Islamic aggression, blah blah blah. But as per the Hindu philosophy and mythology and all these things, uh, if Rani Padmini if Hindus were tortured, it's because of their karma. So why you held Muslims responsible for that? And Swamiji had retorted in a very different manner, in a philosophical manner. He told that, and he written later to that Muslim fellow that look, the law of karma, the law of causality, and all these things are almost in every culture. Okay, So it's not just a Hindu philosophy or Hindu concept. It's in Quran, it's in Bible, it's almost every culture. They believe that if you do the wrong sins, or will have to fall, pay the cost and all these things. So the karma niyam is there here and there in different of terms. And what Swamiji had preached also that if that's the case, okay, if Hindus has been tortured by the because of their own karma, then how about the Muslims have been tortured in the Gaza strip? Is it so that the Rani Padminis or Shakti, spiritual power, has been transferred to Jews and it has affected into a cyclical war or something like that? So Swamiji had suggested that look, this is a vicious cycle of envy, revenge, and it's not going to end. So all we have to understand that human mind is very susceptible, vulnerable for such kind of things, and we should be aware of these things. So Swamiji had a point that it's not about religion or cultures or belief system. It's about how our mind works. So we better understand that, and that was his intention. So the one way is that my link or my comment on this subject, or my notes to myself actually. And initially, when this attack took place, 72 hours before, I was stunned, I was shocked, and but then I gather some information, then assess it, and you all know, those who know my videos regularly see my videos, that I hate biases. I don't get entrapped in misinformation. My attempt is always to bring the best, the clarity of mind, to put the facts before the people, to connect the puzzles, and if possible, then do the best assessment of the situation. And most of the my work is for the forecast to change the future. Because if that's not the case, then I will be just a YouTuber, like people collecting information, putting the maps, and just giving links, sublinks, and then I don't want to be one of them. Okay, I welcome them. Some of them are referred, but they are repeating the information. What happened in 1966 Arab War? What happened in 1948? How Palestinians did that? What is happening in Golan Heights? What is happening in West Bank? And how there are number of videos and explanations and journalistic views, and so many information is there. So I'm not a victim of overflow of information. Okay, I'm trying my best to understand what exactly why Hamas did it in the first place, why this time, and what they intended, and the volume, the preparation Hamas did this time is not a terror attack. It is not even 9/11 or 26/11 for in the context of India. It is much much deeper. That's what I found. And in last 3 days, when I was working on this subject, then I realized that I should put some notes and some takeaways, and if try to solve this or understand this gate at least in the first place, to to predict, if possible, to because I do see that the Ukraine Russian is a first war zone, and it's not a war actually. It's a economical war in a sense. It's a geographical war. It is affecting the oil supplies, the European economy, and Ukraine Russia is not just encircled or limited to the geography to Ukraine Russia. It has side effects and deeper effects on the economy of Europe and other things. And Russia had sent a message in that case. Now here also, this is a far complex case actually. Palestine is a very complex issue. There are so many factors, there are so many players, and I guess 9 minutes are over almost. But I forgot to mention one another point why I'm making this video, because I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing some kind of invisible things, and I'm trying to avoid to imply anything, but I'm trying to give the inferences. And if I could get succeed, then I will tell you what's going to happen. So my takeaways are like this. First war zone was Ukraine, Russia. Second war zone is now Israel, West Bank, Palestine, and it's going to escalate to Jordan and Lebanon. Why I'm telling you in the next video. But believe me, the third war zone will be between the Afghanistan and Pakistan on the western border of the Pakistan. Soon, we are going to see very, very intense war and very, very different kind of war between Afghanistan and Pakistan, between Taliban and Pakistan. As Taliban are marching over the western side of the Pakistan, and now, so there are some war zones. It has something to do with the war economy. It has something to do with the American weapon industry. But this is not the only inference I could draw or understand. There is a displacement, there are settlements, there is a very curious case of Hebron city. Then there is a multiple phase, three phase at least in Jerusalem. They have claims, and the Israel have retaliated now 2 days back. They have declared the war. But if you go by this incident, what I see is that the Hamas has got leverage or kind of success on their part, because I should not call a terror attack as a success, but the success from their point of view and the others who hate Israel or Jews or their opponents is that the Israel security forces, especially the Mossad intelligence, there was so many aura, respect, and I would not say the Hamas attack has debunked that, but it has damaged that aura of Israeli intelligence and all these things to some extent. So they got a success to show the world, look, guys, Israel is not indispensable. Israel is not 100% protected. Okay? There could be breach of security, there could be attacks, and Israel is as vulnerable as Jordan and Lebanon. So Hamas has got a initial age and success. It is showing the world that we can contain Israelis, Jews, and we can attack them, and and if you do the preparation, we can also win the land of Jews, which require it. So that kind of message they have sent to the Arab world, another world, and they also send a message to the Arabs who wanted to have and trying to have a cozy relation with Israelis in last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they also send a message to US that look, we are very much in the game, and we are very much prepared, and so this is not just a attack on Israel. The second point is that, and I will finish the video with these 2 points. They have taken at least 100 hostages, as per the New York Times reports, another Wall Street Journal videos and all these things. Because this war we are seeing the live on Google Maps and satellite maps. So there are at least 100 hostages. But my first impression about that, there are 100 and 120 infiltrators are still in the southern part of the Israel, because the way the people entered by air, sea, and by roads under the blanket of rocket firing, and they have taken some people and vehicles. But I am now almost confirmed, sure, by visualizing myself or remote viewing, that there are still some people, Hamas people, infiltrators or insurgents, whoever you call, or terrorists, whatever you call. They are very much in the land of Israel. And I also think that this time they have not attacked only by air, sea, or land. They are also using some kind of cyber war. They are also using some people. There are some people inside Israel now who are leading this war from inside the mainland. And what they are doing is that they might have some chemical weapons. They might have some kind of robotic weapons. So it is possible, because this time it seems their preparation is not only to just fire the records or just paragliding, the paragliding which I had seen earlier in the James Bond movie, and or the sea route, or the way they drop the bomb by drone on the security gate of Israel, and Hamas has released the video of that. So the preparation level, volume, and depth and variety is signaling that some of the Hamas people have entered the mainland and they are still there, and they are marching toward Tel Aviv and north side. How Mossad and Israel will be able to eliminate them? It's very difficult war. It's very very complex and long. It's a war going on for a long time. It's not in the West Bank. It's not contained to Gaza Strip. It's everywhere. Okay, and you might have. I mean, most of the people remember that what happened in 26/11. The people, the attackers, the terrorists had spread over all over the Mumbai, right? So in this case, the terrorists are spread, and the way Mossad had killed nuclear scientists of Iran 2 years before with a robot machine by remotely, I think the Hamas has also got some kind of technology with them, some kind of cyber attacks. So Israel is going to face a multiple level crisis in this time. This is not a just border issue. This is not just attacking on Hamas, or this is not just attacking the sending some rockets. This is very very big, huge, and something very different. We are seeing a very unique kind of military operation. This is not a just terror attack, and there are certain elements in the world who might have given a very preparation training to Hamas. So what is that? Let's try to understand in the next video. Thank you very much. Be on the other side.